Welcome to the Hillphoenix presentation for the North American Sustainable Refrigerations Council Sustainable Refrigeration Summit. Today we would like to talk about how Hillphoenix and Dover Food Retail supports the NASRC's effort for achieving zero emissions and the advancement of natural refrigerant in the supermarket industry. We all understand we have challenges today on how refrigerants and the impact of our environment is in our store operations. Whether we try to be a good steward for the earth, try to understand that we need to reduce or eliminate GWP refrigerants within our supermarkets, how the carbon footprint impacts us. Also, how do we do less energy? And then look at the designs that provide us future proof. But we have to first understand really the daily challenges that we have. And yes, we know we have regulatory pressure from the EPA, from CARB, from the Climate Alliance Act. And those are the things that continue to drive what we do, how we do it, and what we need to do when we look at regulations. And of course, we have the AIMS Act that we can add to that, which is giving the EPA the right to look at phasing down HFCs or using lower GWP refrigerants and what that impact has on our industry. Plus, you have the states using the regulations for the Climate Alliance, which has California CARB guidelines and using SNAP Rule 2021. And those are the things that really impact the decision makings that you have within the supermarket industry. Then we look at Hillphoenix, and we have the Second Nature natural line of refrigerated products. And this really started in our product development roadmap back in the 1990s, when we deployed glycol as a medium temp secondary application for natural refrigerants. And as that only gave us the ability to do medium temp, we worked into using CO2 as a secondary refrigerant, allowing us to do that for both medium and low temp applications. And then that kind of transitioned into the cascade systems that allowed us to start using direct expansion CO2 for the low temp side under the critical application. Then we did the CO2 boosters in 2010 that allowed us not only to bring the CO2 booster system design technology to the US market, but also how do we deploy the additional technologies to make efficiencies with adiabatic gas coolers, parallel compression, and ejectors. Knowing that natural refrigerants have different options, we also look at propane, which is the right solution for us when we look at how do we apply a natural refrigerant in our smaller air-cooled self-contained merchandisers due to the restriction of the charge size. Then we look at how do we develop continuing the CO2 products to get out in front of trends in the industry. So we come up with CO2 distributed products that allow us some flexibility in not only new stores, but remodels, and then also a single condensing unit in CO2 as well. But as we look forward to the future, it's all about advancing the technology and how do we make these systems not only more efficient, but more affordable as we move forward. So when we look at R290, again, it really fits the sweet spot of where propane helps with the charge restrictions for spot merchandisers, where we have smaller loads, smaller cases with air-cooled units. And that meets a nice little niche with our meal solutions, our meals to go, and our click collect products that give us the flexibility of providing natural refrigerant. And we are going to go through our whole self-contained product portfolio so that we will have R290 as our standard across the board. But we also look at CO2, and primarily for supermarket refrigeration, either in a larger format or even small format. We have the advancer racks, which are centralized racks, giving us a complete capacity range to handle both commercial and industrial applications. We have the Advancer Flex and the Flex Mini, and those are smaller design units that give us some flexibility through centralized on smaller formats or distributed designs, or even the addition of micro fulfillment centers. But it gives us the ability to also do staged remodels if you're doing remodels and getting out of refrigerants. And as I mentioned earlier, right down to the CO2-1, which is a line of single CO2 condensing units, giving us the flexibility that support a wide range of products. And again, I want to focus a little bit more today on the Flex and the Flex Mini because it provides some really good flexibility with either being an indoor or an outdoor location. We can either ship loose or have an integrated gas cooler. It is really flexible in the design and the capacities for either centralized or distributed designs, giving you, the end user, flexibility in looking at new stores, if you're adding a load in a remodel, or if you're just doing a staged remodel where you're replacing existing equipment. So it does provide some different alternatives. And again, the different products ranging from our centralized CO2 booster racks through the Advancer Flex, Flex Mini, and the condensing units, we have a wide flexibility of capacities from the small to the large that meets us with a full product of CO2. But we don't just stop there. We look at how do we develop and advance the technologies that help improve the application of CO2, either from an efficiency or a lower cost option, doing subcooling, parallel compression, and the gas and liquid ejectors. But we don't stop there too. We have to look at how we can improve and what the impact is of refrigeration systems in the whole operation of the store, which gets us to look at water and heat reclaim efficiencies, some requiring Title 24 if you're in California. Refrigerant integration with the HVAC system. Can we do a third suction group and include HVAC on your refrigeration rack? How do we take advantage of mechanical and natural subcooling? And then also the dedicated CO2 control strategies. And that really means as you have controls of the rack control as well as your case controls, and how do they work and how do they have the controls needed for you. And all of those are really targeted at how we help you improve your total store efficiency, not just the refrigeration. How do we give you the application for all climates, whether you're in a warm or a cool climate? How do we help you with the efficiencies so that we can reduce peak rates or ratcheting charges? Does the product provide you risk management by reducing GWPs and going to natural refrigerants that help you with your sustainability and carbon reduction goals as a company? So there's a lot of flexibility not only with our products, but how the products are applied to meet whatever your expectations are. We also understand that we have growth in CO2, and we are expanding our facilities to increase capacities for the design and manufacturing of natural refrigerant equipment. But we also look at continuous improvement for not only how we manufacture, but value engineering. And can we improve the product, how we manufacture it, reduce labor, allowing us to have a lower cost option. You also see that we're the global leader when we talk about CO2 installations. We have Advancer in Denmark, and we have Hillphoenix here in the US. And we have almost 9,000 installations. We have them in the European market, the North American market, Central, South America, and Australia. Again, warm and cool climates. But what we really gain is the experience and the applied knowledge. What do we learn when we have that many systems in there? How can we help you, the end user, meet your sustainability goals by having the right products and the right applications? And that includes cool and warm climates. Again, how do we advance the technologies that we work on today to provide solutions for different climates? And again, flexibility with the products. How do we help you if you want to centralize or distribute it? Do you want a staged remodel? What are the challenges as you have in your stores, and how can we have the right products for providing the CO2 solutions? And again, we do it very well in the commercial, industrial, and micro-fulfillment center applications. One of the challenges we have in our industry is trained technicians, and we all understand that challenge. And Hillphoenix has supported this with the Learning Center. And we provide solutions in how do we help advance the refrigeration knowledge within our industry, not just our installing contractors, but with our customers and the design and the engineer of records. And then, the diverse audience of who we train. Yeah, we work with the contractors on how and to improve installation, startup and commissioning, maintenance, but then also work with the architects and engineers of how we can help them design better stores, more efficient stores, lower cost stores to meet the end user's need for total cost of ownership. We also train end users on how the products are used, how they differ, how they can help them benefit. And then the internal employees is more on the internal side with Hillphoenix. How do we help them understand how we make a quality product that meets all expectations? But the Learning Center does a lot of classroom training with technicians. We do on-site, hands-on training. We understand there's a need for that in our industry, and Hillphoenix is willing to support that. And since 2009, we've trained over 35 people at one level or another to help us be better prepared for a move to natural refrigerants. Then we have to always find the right solutions. And what we mean here is, okay, Hillphoenix has invested in CO2 and R290 products, and we have a pretty good portfolio of that as we've shown you. But we know it's beyond just that. We have to understand knowledge. And as I mentioned, the Learning Center is here to help the contractors understand the installation and application of CO2, and how do we work with the engineer of records and the architects. But we also have CO2 dedicated experts, and I'll get into that a little later with the CO2 Center of Excellence. And then we have experience. Again, almost 9,000 installations. We do the design and application. How can we help you find the right solution for what your goals are on not only your new stores, but how do you look at your current fleet of stores? And it's very important that when we look at that all together, the relationships and understanding what is needed, not only what your challenges are, what the products are, what the services are, but what are the things that are truly needed to help you run your organization. And only then can we understand how we can exceed those expectations. And one of that is, again, talking about total cost of ownership. And when we first look at our relationship with our customers, it's always about equipment costs and what are the designs and how do we apply the equipment that we have. But we truly know that that's only the tip of the iceberg when it looks at how do we support the total cost of ownership. Because as an end user, you have the installed costs, the contractor issue we talked about, construction costs, maintenance costs. How is the application of CO2 help you with either energy or the operational cost of your supermarkets? Does it support your goals and guidelines for refrigerant management, lower GWP or eliminating GWP? How does it help you with your state's regulatory compliance requirements? And then you have your corporate sustainability. These are all things that challenge you that we have to understand how we support not only the equipment, but how the equipment is applied. And then what are the benefits of that that support that lower cost of ownership, which are the things that challenge you the most today. So what we've worked with at Hillphoenix is the Eco2 system, which is the Center of Excellence. And what it really is to really support and drive towards having a superior customer experience. And what that really means is, how can we help you understand the whole process of switching to natural refrigerants? And how can we get you the value that you're looking for? And what we really want to target on is not only the education, but it's the analysis, the guided selling and support of what you think you need. And then how do we troubleshoot from not only the equipment, but the application to the maintenance? How can we support that through the whole life of the product? So we kind of divide it into 5 different categories. From the pre-sale support, how can we help you by working with the engineer of records, training your contractors, making sure everybody understands what their goals are within the building of your stores? And then quote and ordering. Are we helping you get the right product that you need? Are we value engineering? Are there things that we can do to help you from a manufacturer to lower your costs? How do we build the products? Can we improve our products, the quality of our products, the time of our products? So those are big impacts in the total operation of from the beginning to the end. But then again, how are they installed? How are they commissioned? How are they started up? Do you have what you need to do the advancement of CO2 or advancing technologies? And then what do we need to do for after sales support? Sometimes installation is different than maintenance. Do we have to train maintenance people differently? Do we have to have the right products available in your local supply houses as we switch? And we work with our OEM partners all the time to do that. But some of the levels that we want to do with the Center of Excellence is have a dedicated support team. It'll be cross-functional of CO2 experts from our engineering team, application team, manufacturing team, field support, but we're also going to add a dedicated coordinated project leader. And this is more important for the customers moving to CO2 for the first time. How can we help them work through the whole process? And we'll have a dedicated person to walk through pre-sale support, through the quoting, through the building, through the delivery, through the training of the contractors to help make sure at the end of the day, we meet and deliver the value that is expected. And part of that is having that leadership. We will be the champion for you to have the right CO2 products applied the right way, installed the right way, and operating the right way through every step of the whole thing. And a lot of that has to do with coordination and communication. And we have dedicated teams there to help do that. So what we'd like to do is look at it, we're not just the products. We do add the experience. We do add the knowledge. And together, all of those will help us build that relationship. And the one thing that we do know is building and long-term sustainability solutions require a teamwork. And when we talk about what that teamwork is, it's just not us as the case manufacturer. It's how does the end user or the customer help us support? How do we work with our OEM partners to have the right components? How do we work with the contractors that focus on, again, installation, service, startup, commissioning? Where do we work with you on maintenance and the operation of your store after the store opens? How do we work with the engineer of records and the architects to make sure the stores are designed well, and we coordinate that through the construction process so that we can help lower your building costs? This is where teamwork comes in, and it's going to take a lot of different people to do it. And if we all focus on the options and the designs that are needed to meet your goals, then we have a chance of exceeding them and achieving the zero emissions that we all want in our industry. I thank you for your time today, and good luck.